Hey guys, and welcome back to the Saints podcast. I'm your host, Julian. I'm with Elijah. And as you saw previous podcast, we had a little Avengers group. Now the portals have opened. It's Avengers Endgame. We've got a few more. Got a few more Dragons fans joined by us, a few iconic ones. Let's get into it.
So we got Tyson from Trademark Sports. We have Mitch, who you boys
Hello.
know from TikTok, and our good friend,
Yeah.
especially my good friend,
Oh,
Jackson. Boys, how you doing today?
good, bro. Good.
Yeah. All right, let's get straight into it. So over the weekend, we got some news that another Dragon Junior has been let go, Jonah Glover. Initial thoughts, boys.
Well, first off, it's actually Doggies Junior, so that's some
Ah,
saving grace for us, which is nice. We haven't actually let one walk. What's annoying though is the Rabbitohs have stolen Ashton Ward, Nick Quinn, and Glover now from us, all halves in the last 2 years. So like, what's doing? Like any danger? They've got like 10 halves. We've got zero. And then you look at it, look at our halves, and the main thing, like I know, been talked about a lot in this podcast about Kyle Flanagan, but with Jonah Glover saying that the reason why he didn't like, he just thought he couldn't get a crack at first grade because Kyle Flanagan's in the way. It rubs you the wrong way a little bit, doesn't it?
100%, bro. 100.
I just put salt in the wound, because it's like I don't want to be that guy, but like everyone was thinking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
That's why I'm saying it's so unfair that week after week, Flanagan doesn't do his job. And then it's so unfair for Lockie, at least for Glover, that both of them, like, because the whole point was if you prove yourself, you'll be back in the team. They've proved themselves in the reserve grade and they can't get in the team. Like, it's so unfair. And this is what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if Lockie at least walks out the door, especially with Atco coming next year. So, I don't know. Jackson, what were your thoughts on Jonah?
Glover.
Yeah.
Um, Look, I'm not that fast, to be honest. Like, if people understand our junior system, they know what's coming through. They have Cade Reed sitting there in Jersey
Yeah.
Flegg, who is,
Mm.
when I tell you he's carving up, I mean he is carving up Jersey Flegg. And he's like, he just got SG Ball Steelers Player of the Year. Like, to be fair, like, losing Glover's not much. Like, people are just annoyed because we lost DeBell and Glover in the same week. It's honestly nothing. Like, people just need to calm down.
I think you look at the players that the Dragons have let go. Garrick, Wisher, Bostock, Robson, Fanoa Blake, you got Dylan Lucas even, Fino Latu, Glover, like Tamale as well. Like all these
Oh.
players are gonna go, like, you know what I
Mm.
mean? It's so frustrating.
But
I don't know.
in our defense with that, like you could do that for every club. Every club's
Yeah.
lost all their juniors. You can't hold it onto everyone, obviously. And I think like the saving grace we have at the moment is you look at the guys like Stewart, Egan,
They've always
Halengavu,
done that.
Buchanan, Sogranis. Like we actually have a good crop of juniors coming through. And like Jackson said, you've got Cade Reed in there. Only thing is, he's probably still 3, 4 years off first grade. So it's like, do we really like is Kyle Flanagan going to be a halfback for 3 or 4 years?
I hope not.
Like I actually, to be honest, Kyle Flanagan, he's not doing as bad a job as everyone's saying. It's just now that he's in the seven that he's getting scrutinized for everything. That's
I
like the
agree.
big thing.
I agree.
So it's like, but and Atkinson's coming in. He's going to play 6 or 7, that sort of thing. Who do you I couple him with? But we also rugby league and NRL is like a constant moving cycle. Someone could come on. Like we've got a fair bit of cap space next year. We don't know. Like someone could be have some unrest out there. Like you don't know who's going to go on the market, and we might be able to snap them up. You just don't know. Like look at our major signings for this year: Gutho, Val Holmes, and Damien Cook. No one was off contract until the off season. So you just wait and see.
Yeah.
I agree. It hurts, but as you said, look at the players that we've re-signed. Let me get up the
And
list.
the Dragons announced like an hour ago they re-signed some 16-year-old to like 2028.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ollie Burton, he's a freak. He's genuinely a freak.
Like
Very good player.
with him, they've got both Couchmans, Halengahu, Loco, Dylan Egan, Lycan, Nick Sogranis. All those
Yeah.
players are locked up for a long time.
No, well, the issue is that worries me. They're all off contract at the end of 2027. So Flano's gonna have his hands
Yeah.
all of them in one bundle. But I reckon next year, because we're gonna have so much cap, I reckon you'll see like the Couchmans, the Dylan Egans extend to like 2032 or something long.
Yeah. They'll all get bumped up deals and re-sign and that sort of thing. Hopefully.
Anyway, boys, let's touch on the game on the weekend. The Dragons defeat the Parramatta. It was 34 points to 20. Now, first half, looked like 2010 all over again. Second half, looked like 2019 all over again. It was not. It was. I feel like it's been the story of our season. We can't play full 80-minute games, and luckily, we are so grateful to the Parramatta Eagles for being so bad that they didn't win the game. And Josh Adokar, his foot was a bit too big. So I don't know, boys. And what were your thoughts on the game on the weekend? I know some of you boys were at the game, so
Yeah, me and Mitch were literally together at the game. He stood pretty much next to me that whole game. It was very, very good that first half, but I turned around and said to him, "Look, it's the Dragons. Well, I don't know what's going to happen next." And
Bro,
that
it's our
second,
specialty. Honestly, it's our specialty
yeah,
not playing a full 80. Like
it's been the
that's our
story
trademark.
since I
that
can't
second half,
for
man,
years.
I don't know. They were getting close. They were getting so close, and I really thought the Dragons would not actually run away with it because, we've done it before 100 times.
Props up to that touch judge. Honestly, the ball
Yeah.
he had to call that, and he could have just like put the flag down, let the play continue. They would have gone to it in the bunker. The fact that he had the vision to put the flag up, ruling out any chance of any potential try. Props to him. He got it right. Anyone who says his foot wasn't on the line, there's literally a screenshot. I'll put on the screen right now.
He was out.
The day that he stepped out. Like,
Just sad para fans because they lost. Because Lomax
Yeah.
gave us the last try anyway. So.
can I say something? Zach Lomax, I'm sorry for everything I've ever said about you. Zach Lomax, you might be my favorite player of all time. Oh my gosh. Just when I thought the try assist for the Dragons would end after you signed with Para, they kept coming. Wow. That pass to Holmes was one of the best Dragons I've ever seen.
Oh,
Lomax
he
was
misses
absolutely
it.
copping it. He was
Yeah.
copping
Good.
it on the field, on the
Slow
on the
Max.
hill.
All you
Slow
heard
Max
was a chant.
was a good chant.
Slow Max.
It was
the
There was a
best.
St George rejects chant. Like
Yeah.
people were pulling stuff out of their ass. Like it was honestly amazing to hear. And it was such a good crew on the hill. Like you had me, Julian, some of my mates. You had JC over a few meters away with all his boys, and then it was an unreal crew. Like everyone on that hill was just diehard.
I thought
it was so good.
I thought the first half, Carl Flanagan actually played really well. He responded well to JC. I think he played actually really well. Second half was where he kind of struggled. He kind of got lost in that momentum that Para had. His kicking is something that will improve over time, but it's just I can't really be confident with it because we'd have like a 30-meter set or whatever. He just kicks it 20 meters to the fullback. The one thing he needs to work on is finding grass on his kicks. It's just always, I don't know. It's just always the same traditional, orthodox kick. It doesn't help. Like you see, Mitch Moses and Cleary. If the Panthers was having a crap set, he kicks him out of trouble. We don't.
I think Flanagan's a few people away from Moses and Cleary, just quietly. Just being honest there. But look, from my opinion of how Flanagan went against Para, look, I honestly think because he scored, it's overshadowing all the stuff he didn't do. That's just my honest opinion.
Yeah, that's that.
Look, if we're talking halves, I just want to put it out there. Lycan King Togia
was amazing.
Just played his best game in the NRL.
100%.
Great to have him on the reserves and Supercoach.
Honestly, honestly, Mitch, I back you there. What did he score? 68. He was sitting there while Matt Burton got me like a 50.
That's what I mean. I picked him up for minimum like a month and a bit ago, and this guy's 400K now. That is cool to turn on investment.
He's getting better and better every time he plays. Like the more he's played footy, like he's getting just more and more comfortable. Like by the end of the year, we're sitting there going, how good's he going? And then it looks exciting to have him and Atkinson in the halves next year, if that's the way they decide to go.
I think that's what everyone's hoping as well, to be honest.
His defense is getting better because at the start of his career, even at the first few games he played this year, he got trampled on defense. He's starting to improve. I reckon that's obviously something you improve. It's not a half role to improve defense, but I think I think the Dragons have a good, not good. I reckon if that's the halves next year, that's our best shot to make the halves next year with Atkinson and King Toga. I'm a bit worried about a running 6 being our 7 in Atkinson, but we don't have Nathan Cleary.
See, like you say that with Atkinson, but I remember last year, you wind back to when he played against the Storm for the Sharks down in Melbourne, and he was the only half, literally in the whole squad. He was doing everything, like running, like game managing, organizing, doing all like, so he can do it. He's played as a 7 growing up and stuff. He knows how to do it. It's just like,
I don't know if he.
yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying for sure. But it's like, I think sort of, he's still like 25, 26. Like, he has it in him. Halves don't really play their best footy till they're 30. If we can sort of get through the 8, and then he's going to develop that game as he goes.
It actually brought a tear to my eye because seeing him in open space remind me so much of another half that had some off-field issues in Talatau Amon. I can't lie.
Oh, boy.
I couldn't help but get deja vu while watching him. I don't know, man. He's a gun like in Kintagia. But
Thank God he backflipped on Newcastle. Honestly, if we lost him, I may have like signed the papers there and just walked because he is like genuinely out of our juniors. I reckon he's like top 3. He is going to be like a star of a player. He was so good.
I actually thought Emre Gula was actually pretty decent against the Eels.
Thank you.
He played.
I'll write that.
Clemmer's been decent all season. I don't think
It's actually made a gun.
I don't think I've seen Clemmer have a bad game this season.
Clemmer is going down as one of the more underrated signings. I'm convinced.
Didn't he played like 60 minutes straight the other week? I'm like, who is this bloke?
Even against the Knights, he played like 63 minutes. He was amazing. Like, he's actually been one of our better forwards this year. And our Dragons team has been struggling. I thought Val Holmes was really good. He's probably my man of the match. That was one of his best games as a Dragon, if not the best.
Amy and Cook played one of his best games. He was literally Cook was unstoppable in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like that thing there where Cook broke through and then King Togia was literally right next to him.
Oh.
It was beautiful. Honestly, it was just
unreal to watch, eh?
It was such good footy.
Yeah.
If I could just quickly wind back and talk about just the Dragons game itself, I think that actually could be a really season-defining win. Like our draw over the next 6 weeks is proper cooked. Like we might win one game, maybe. But you look at the start of the season, we lost all those really close games by 1 or 2 points. It's probably going to come back to bite us at the end of the season. But this was a massive game to see whether that pattern was going to continue or whether they had the guts in them to really like put in a fight and overcome it and win, which we did. Got a decent win, 14 points, whatever. But also, one player on the bench who was Fafita, who had a nasty cork, would have come on maybe at a pinch. So pretty much no bench for half an hour. And the boys just hung in and dug in and won. They played for each other and won. It's really, really good signs for a team that we've seen just roll over.
The adversity we had to face and how we overcame that. About 10 injuries that entire game, plus two Pelotu getting injured in the warm-up.
Exactly, yeah.
I genuinely cannot believe the Dragons held on and won that. But,
touching on CT here.
He's going to medically retire, bro.
Hell, what is going on with that man's legs?
Oh, bro's hamstrings are proper cooked.
They're like,
what is?
I feel bad.
Like every time he runs, it just rips. It's like
money rips.
What's going on?
Yeah, bro signed his contract and was like, "Oh, I'm out. I was gonna pull my hammies."
I don't know if it's him or the medical staff, but he's being rushed back way too quickly.
Yes, 100%. I agree with that. Like, I'm a physio. That is my profession. Like he's getting rushed back too quick. It's especially when you've got those repeated hamstring injuries. It's like just make sure he's right. Get him doing proper full-on training for a couple of weeks. Now that he's had like 4 already this year, 2 in both hamstrings. It's like just sit the bloke. Honestly, at this stage, we do have cover on the outside backs. Just rehab him properly.
Well, I just don't know if they don't believe in Nathan Lawson or something. Seriously.
Yeah, true.
Had a good game.
He looked good though, didn't he?
Yeah,
I thought
Corey Allen
got injured.
pretty good.
He's a bit questionable on the high ball, but apart from that, I thought it was solid. But
Lawson had 4 minutes to prepare for an 80-minute NRL game. The bloke couldn't even lift his arm for the final 15 minutes. I actually thought Lawson was like one of our better ones against Para. I actually thought he was good.
Thank goodness that Lawson, Tupology didn't get injured 5 minutes into the game, because then we would have had to play like 75 minutes without a back.
Hmm.
It actually worked out better that he got injured right before the game. We could just put in
Yeah,
the
thank God. Lucky.
I thought Corey Allen was really good.
Yeah, I
I
just
Yeah,
said that.
surprised me, eh?
You
I
tackles,
actually
them tackles, man.
His
Oh,
prime days coming back, man.
Or
he's
or
he's
Russell.
one of the best. He's one of the best defensive wingers in the comp in terms of his IQ. Wow. Like his defense, major improvement from Sloan. Major improvement to Sloan. Obviously, the pace lacks. That's no question. But
Yeah,
in terms of
I'd say that's not
physicality,
his fault. Corey Allen, when he was coming through, he was like the most touted gun in the whole country. Like he was
he
Australian
really ruined
schoolboys
him when he
fullback,
went
I
to the
think, as well.
Dogs.
Like,
But
well,
he's
he was at Broncos, and then Wayne Bennett took him. Like, that was Wayne Bennett's first signing at South when he first got to South. That's how much he rated Corey Allen, and then he's just had like 3 ACLs and just been like
yeah.
just riddled with injury.
he's like the
Bad.
definition of like a
And then
white.
shipped off to the Dragons, eh? Typical
Yeah,
fashion. Signing all youngs.
He's like the
Oh.
definition of a one-season wonder. I remember 2020, he was amazing. He signed with
Yeah,
the
he made it
Dogs.
original.
After
Yeah.
that,
If yous are in charge, I use re-signing Allen for next year as a depth instead of like a Sione Finau.
I'd like both of them, to be honest.
I want both.
I heard
I really rate Finau. I hope he plays really
Yeah,
good
me
this week
too.
and like holds his spot while Lawson's out.
I've heard from multiple sources that the Dragons are trying to sign one of the two. So one of them's going to be let go at the end of this season.
I reckon they'll keep. I reckon they'll keep Allen because he's a
Yeah.
mad friend with Kyle. And as soon as Kyle signed, Corey Allen signed. Because I don't know, they played together at Dogs and all that. I don't know, something's going on there.
I don't know,
I think if like you're trying to like take that out of it, I think you probably still maybe go with Allen just
Mm,
because like Finau, it is a signing on potential. And a lot of our players at the moment we have are like they've signed on what their potential could be. And having that Corey Allen as a bit that older head bloke who's been through adversity and stuff, like even little things like Dylan Egan's going through an ACL rehab at the moment. Times get tough with that. Corey Allen's done like two or three. Like they're sort of that, yeah, senior player mightn't be the worst thing to have.
yeah, like for now could go elsewhere. Like look at Tamale. He's
yeah,
killed it.
but
He's killed it.
we would have loved Tamala this year, honestly.
I know. I
Yeah.
know.
And he would have played so much. I think he went for opportunity, which he would have got this year at the Dragons, which is unfortunate, but how it
Yeah.
goes.
Well, if you're
Oh,
speaking
well.
wingers, another winger who's slowly knocking on the door for NRL is Ben Rumble. He is having
Yes,
he's having
that's
a
a good
gun
point.
year.
I
He is
saw
having a
something.
great year in Cup.
I'm sorry to tell you, but I saw something that he might have signed with the Cowboys. So
Sorry.
Oh shit.
Yeah, right. Well, his younger brother is in Flegg as well. I think Tom Rumble,
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe. So
Um,
yeah, and like, he's been pretty handy as well. So
Yeah, right.
hopefully don't lose both of them.
Well, we like losing juniors. Another iconic last name, Fitzgibbon. We lost Eamon Fitzgibbon. I only found out a couple of weeks ago. Fitz his
Yeah, he
son.
went to the doggies.
maybe.
Yeah, I went to school with him. I know him personally. Yeah, I would have loved to see him in that Dragons jersey. But
Boys,
oh well.
who was your man of the match on the weekend? I'll go through Julian. I'll start off with you. Who was your man of the match?
I would be going with Val Holmes.
Yeah,
Scored twice.
yeah.
And that's it. Val Holmes, he killed it.
Bro, petition to make Flanagan our actual goal kicker. He's a better goal kicker.
Yeah, actually goes alright.
Oh,
Flanagan's
100%.
Flanagan's a done goal kicker. He's
Yeah.
actually really good. Like I remember last year against Penrith when we were missing Lomax for Origin, he slaughtered them from everywhere. Jackson, what
Yeah.
about you? Who's your man of the match?
This one's a bit out of the shadows here, but I'm going to go Damien Cook. If you think about it, we don't score those first two tries without Cook. Like, honestly, he broke that middle open for Para. He was big in defense as well. But if you don't want to go Cook, you've got to go Val.
Yeah,
Mm.
Tyson.
I was going to go something a bit different because everyone's probably going to say Val because he was sensational, but I'm going to go with Jack DeBellin. Made 30 odd tackles, no missed, 100 and something meters to the middle, and just continually he's one of our best performers week in, week out in a forward pack that's struggling. So,
And Mitch.
Yeah, look, it's hard to not say that Val was the best player, but I'll just pick a second one just so I can elaborate a bit more. King Toya, honestly, best game all year. We've seen that shimmer of that potential he has. If we can hold on to him, that'll be so huge for our halves in leading into the next few years. Like that is honestly, I obviously love all our juniors, love the Couchrans, love the Egans, love King Toya, but King Toya is the one I do not want to let go of. Like I don't know what it is, I just love that guy.
I gotta say, DeBellin, that interaction with DeBellin and JC,
Oh, horrible, eh?
that
Bro, I
broke
was
me.
right next to him. I was just, oh,
I
That
actually have a little hot take about why they might have let DeBellin go. So we obviously know loves the club, been at the club forever,
oh,
and if he stayed next year, he'd be the most capped player. I reckon optics wise, they might have said we don't want it because of the off-field stuff that happened. Like whatever your stance on it is, that's what it is. I'm not going to make a comment because we don't want to get involved in that stuff. But I think just maybe that might have been a thing that the higher ups have gone, no, we can't be having that. It just looks bad.
yeah,
Oh,
I've seen a few
agree.
people say that because if you look in 20 years' time and you say, oh, a Keaton guy named Jack DeBellin's the leading player with the most Dragons games, the research him and
let's look him up.
incidents,
Yeah.
it would not look.
yeah,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Like I really do hope that isn't the reason, and it's a purely footballing decision. But you sort of look at it and you think that can't be. Like I know maybe he's getting in the way of one of the junior spots next year, and we're in this rebuild, whatever. And you also think the guy who'd be taking over is Ben Hornby. Look him up. He was the premiership winning captain. It's like,
Yeah.
there's something about it. So I don't know.
It's a sad story, but a likely one, honestly.
He made his debut the year after the Dragons won the comp, and you think about all he's been through, like the off-field incident, the Dragons have stood by him through how many coaches he's been through. Who was on the Bennett for 1 year? Steve Price, then
Who do
McGregor,
you have a Steve Price? Oh yeah, McGregor. Griffin.
Griffin,
Oh God.
and Flanagan.
Carr.
We had Ryan Carr obviously for a little bit, but how many coaches is that? Like genuinely.
Well, Dean Young, if you want to count when he was interim
No,
as
he
well.
wasn't even the coach because he had the off-field incident while he was the interim coach.
True.
So, but like technically he was contracted to the Dragons. So it's heartbreaking to see a player that wanted to be a one-club man leave. It actually breaks my heart because he's been. I haven't seen DeBellin have a bad game in my life. Genuinely, he's so consistent and always puts up 100% in every tackle, every hit up. So, but
we need to give him.
He honestly was the heart of the Red V. Honestly,
it seems
need to give him a great farewell.
that 100% proper fair.
Likely that our last game of the season is round 27 against Panthers at home at Wynn Stadium.
Like, we need something. We need something on that hill. Like,
But
we need at least
get
a
around
thank
him.
you back, like a big banner. Like
just one
something.
thing I don't like is people say like, oh, salary cap issues. He was on like the minimum 300.
Yeah.
So obviously it's not that. And you think about the players that we have right now. I'm taking DeBellin over Gula, Laurie, Clemmer. I can name so many other forwards that
we also should have so much cap because Lomax and Ben Hunt went out the window and went out the door, and Val Holmes would be on a fair amount. But I imagine that Damien Cook and Gutho would have taken reduced contracts because they're getting on a bit. Like, who have we signed? Like, surely David Clemmer's on 800K a year, although that is a very Dragons thing.
I reckon they'll bring people in. I'm feeling like two throws for next year.
Yeah, well,
and if
we lost
Dragons,
Francis.
Well, if you want to replace that,
retired.
One player I'd be looking at the most is Kobe Hetherington from Brisbane. He's a hard worker in the middle. He's I think he's 26 or something still. But if if we're going the young approach, Hamish Stewart's ready for that lock spot straight away next year. It's literally got his name on it.
Without JDB. Oh, go on. No, go on.
I remember, was it the Rabbitohs trials game or the Roosters? I remember one half, he was absolutely abysmal. And I said to my brother, I said, is this another Dan Russell? Is this another Jane Hunt for us? I thought it was going to be an absolute dud. I thought it was going to be like a Lachlan Maranta for us. I did not. I was like, there's no way he can be in the team round one. When I saw him in the team list against the Bulldogs, I was flipping out. I was like, bro, what are we doing? He has proved me wrong well. Immensely, he has proved. I thought it was going to be a dud. He's been one of our best forwards this year. Crazy. But I don't know.
So I'll tell you one thing, knowing Hamish and Dylan Egan personally, those blokes are the kind of guys you want in our squad forever because they're winners. Like they're literally their whole junior careers and stuff, like locally, and like they won comps from the time they were allowed to like play competitions up until like they got to the Dragons, like perennial winners. And it's a shame they let other blokes in that squad go to other clubs because it would have been handy to have them too. But yeah, like Dylan
Their,
Egan and
their,
Hamish
at-
Stewart will build our club around.
their attitude, they got the Aussie attitude. Wow, like I don't know, like wow, it's actually good to see people want to be at the Dragons. Sully doesn't want to be there.
Oh yeah.
Like he said that he's only here because of his manager. Like
Fuck. That's no good.
And then like that's the other thing, like you've got like Sagranis and Hayden Buchanan, who gun young centers coming through, both can play on the right. Like, all right, see you then, Sully. Like if you're only here because you're manager, go somewhere else. Like we want
Yeah,
people who want to
good.
play for the jersey.
Am I the only one who doesn't rate Sully?
I rate him. He's just been stuffed around by going over to the right side. Saw him last year on the left and was killing it. And I think people underestimate how hard it is to actually change like
Yeah.
sides on the field. Especially when like the way he like carries the ball and like what side he fends with and stuff, and he's switching that up. It just actually stuffs it a fair bit.
I mean, it's a risk you have to take because look who you signed, Val Holmes. You can't switch one of the
Yeah.
best. in the
Yeah.
club. So I feel
Yeah.
like if Sully can't deal with that, then send him out. But he's
Bro,
been yeah.
I can't get over the fact that Sully hasn't scored a try this year.
Yeah,
He's just
fuck. He
centre
should
and
be
hasn't
coming.
scored a try.
He's gonna score against Canberra. He's gonna score against Canberra.
Sully,
I'm calling it. I'm calling
this
it.
this could be rogue shout. I know like we've got a million wingers, but Sully on the wing might not be bad. He's got really good carries out of yardage.
Even
And
I
like people talk about him going into the forwards. I hate that idea
no,
personally.
I
but
honestly love it. I was about to say at Manly in his last year at Manly, he was on the bench as a running forward. He actually did really, really well. I wouldn't mind him in the
I just reckon he'd get caught out defensively too much if he was there for a full
yeah.
season.
Mm.
Mm.
Oh, another winger that we all forgot about, Mr. Ravalawa. What's going on with him?
What's
Do we
going on
know?
with
True. Shit. I forgot he's coming back, isn't he?
Yeah.
Can we keep
Oh
him away?
boy.
Rabbitohs are not going to resign. There's no chance.
In heaven?
Like no chance.
Look
Yeah,
how
I
they
don't know what's
massacred my
going
boy
on with him.
Ravalawa.
I
I
think
don't
he's
Yeah.
want
gonna,
to. I mean,
I think he's going to go to Super League. It has to be. One team.
Oh, if that even. He'll be playing Dapto Canaries next year.
I'll go to PNG, I reckon, eventually.
Yeah,
really want a
Perth
winger?
Bears. Just
It's
Oh,
actually
boy.
it's actually sad to see what happened to him in 2023. He was one of the best wingers in the comp.
Yeah,
did
he
he
was-
score like the most tries for the Dragons maybe ever?
I think
Like,
so.
this
He
season?
got up there. He got up
And then
there.
the year after he's
Our
just
worst
in
year.
Reggie's.
Ah,
And that
wow.
Para game last year, one of the worst winger performances I've ever seen.
Oh yeah,
I
he
was
got
there
pulled
as
in
well.
and-
I was there. Was
Oh.
that when we always came back from like 30 down or something?
yeah.
44-40.
Yeah.
That's
What's
fine.
going
Yeah.
on? Holden Cup
Yeah,
days.
that was something. That was something. It was
I remember watching that and just going like, are we serious? Like,
Yeah, I was
any
there
danger
live.
of doing this 30 minutes ago?
Yeah, I've never
Yeah.
left the game early, but I was on the verge of walking away. I was like,
That was
there's
a
no
process
way. Para will
to
like
get in the
tell
end.
I
Gorm.
was like, I was almost more angry that we came back. I was like,
Yeah,
just
I
get
was like,
flogged.
what is happening? They scored another try. They kept going and they kept going.
What about
And
Ben
then they
Hunt's
still end up losing.
last play? A grubber on the short side. Like, are you joking? At least that kind of
Oh,
sums up
man.
Ben Hunt's tenure at the Dragons.
Nah,
well.
respectfully, fuck Ben Hunt. I hate that bloke.
Honestly, Ben Hunt and Lomax, I would never. Lomax, now I kind of understand why he wants to go. He hated Flanagan. I'm not going to say which Dragons player told me. When I was talking to them, they were telling me that Lomax had genuine hate for Flanagan. Like,
Yeah, because Flanagan came in and gave him a bit of an attitude adjustment because Lomax has always
Yeah,
had a massive
he has
ego,
a
and he
fat
said,
ego.
"Righto,
He has
you haven't. What have you
facts.
done so far? Nothing." And he
Flanagan
didn't like
put
it.
him in Origin. Flanagan,
Yeah,
if he was center last year, bro, he would be who is this Lomax guy? Like, bro, he's not even a top
who played
30
reserve
center.
grade?
Yeah, like him on the wing, like he got an Origin jersey. Australia,
Yeah.
I don't know. Imagine if he never got put on the wing. Like if it wasn't for Flanagan, right, and he stayed in the centers, I don't know. 2023 was just such a bad year for the club. Lomax was in centers, and he did absolute fuck all. I think he only scored like 2
He was
tries
in
out.
Reggie's. Griffin dropped him. People forget that.
Yeah, and then he had a sook about getting
Yeah,
dropped.
true.
Well, if you play if you I can't speak. If you play shit, you get dropped. Like, look at Sloan. Like,
I'm pretty sure Little
anyway,
got dropped
but
under Griffin too. That's actually crazy to think about.
yeah, we didn't see him for like the whole year, and he played a couple games on the wing. That's about it.
I want to reiterate this. Griffin started Moses Mbai. Moses
Yeah.
Mbai at
Mm,
number 9 in 2023, not 2014, 2023 over
yeah.
Jacob Little. And you saw
Also,
it.
Did anyone
yeah,
see
yeah.
like Elijah Taylor footy hacks on Instagram? Did you see what he put up like literally today about Anthony Griffin?
Nah, I
It's
haven't.
Nah.
like, oh, he goes, oh, Anthony Griffin said to me is like, if you're not injured, you're not training hard enough. What a
What?
fucking idiot. It's literally just gives you such an insight to what Anthony Griffin's like. Like, how is this bloke coaching at the top of like the
That's what
best
I mean.
rugby league players in the
How do those
world?
people get those top elite NRL coaching jobs? Like,
Like, what
I
kind
Yeah,
of
didn't
attitude's that?
understand
Don't you
this.
want your players 100%, not injured? Like, what's
yeah.
going on?
I've got
Anyway, glad those
another
times are
thing
over.
another thing to read out from the run home with Joel and Fletcher. They said something on Twitter. Someone sent it to me. I didn't really put it out anywhere, and it says Zach Lomax needs to write a big fat check to Shane Flanagan, who has changed his career. If he doesn't put him onto the wing, will we ever see him play an Origin game? Which is
Hell no.
100%,
Literally.
100%.
I think my thing, like when Lomax left, I actually wasn't upset because his attitude the whole time was like, no, I want to play center. I want to do this. I
Mm,
want to do it. It's like, doesn't matter what you want. It's what's best for the team.
I
That's
tell you
what
what,
playing rugby league is about. That's what like trying to win games. Like I don't care if I play, like if I'm playing, play 3 minutes a game, position I never played before. If it helps us win and the boys get to win, then that's the best thing. Yeah, the best feeling. Like
one
who
thing I
gives a shit
do
where
got
you
to
playing?
give, I hate it, Paul McGregor. Well, I hate a strong word. I dislike Paul McGregor as a coach. One good thing I have to say is throughout the 2020 all off season, Zach Lomax promised Paul McGregor he was going to shine at fullback. This is my number one jersey. I'm taking it off Dufty, I think it was at the time. My
Jesus.
my jersey. Round one against the West Tigers at Wollongong, 2020. He played fullback. He had a shock. I think he scored, but
Yes,
he had a
no
shocker.
stinker.
Next game against Penrith, dropped him. He was on the wing. So it's been an attitude thing. Although he's got
Yeah,
a
he's got
big
an
fat
ego, man.
he's got a big fat ego. But
and
Fuck that
that's
guy.
what kills players. That's what kills players, having that ego and thinking you're better than everyone and thinking you're the
Yeah.
unofficial captain. It happens in juniors as well. I'm not going to name names at all, but you see these people in 19s and 21s who like you know these people because like most of the boys in here you're their age. Like you might have went to school with them, you might know them, and you know what they're like, and you just know that like no matter how talented they are, with the attitude and the egotistical factors, they're not going to get far.
Moses
Yeah, and I understand like there's a level to it. Like obviously to become a professional athlete, you have to have that cutting edge about you and think that you deserve to be there and are better than everyone else. But there's a way to go about it. There's a way to just like you go, I'm gonna
There's a
go out there
line.
and
There's a
show that
line. You know
I'm
what I
better than
mean?
everyone else. I'm gonna show it. I'm not gonna talk about it and think I'm better than everyone else. Like yeah,
if it
I don't
wasn't
It's
for
know.
more
Trent,
actions louder than words in that
if it
case,
wasn't
100%.
if it wasn't for Trent Barrett, Moses Sully would not be in the NRL right now. He got sacked from the Bulldogs and the Tigers because of his attitude. If Trent
Mhm.
Barrett didn't say something in 2018, I'll give this kid a chance. He may be lazy, he may come to training 3 hours late, whatever, this attitude problem. I'll give him a chance. And look what happens. He's doing
Mm.
well. Not
Was
as well
it
as
Trent Barrett or was it Des Hasler? I feel like Des Hasler did like a similar thing because when Josh Schuster was losing all that weight and Des Hasler was like training with you, I feel like he did the same thing with Moses Sully. It was like he was dieting with him. He was like getting
he
up
was,
early with
but
him, like just
I think
took him
Trent
under
Barrett
his
was a
wing.
coach in 2018 when they signed Sully, so he gave him a crack. So
Yeah.
Mm.
all right, boys. So let's move on. Julian, would you like to do the honors and read out the team list against the Canberra Raiders?
Yes, sir, let's do it. Let me
Let's
get it
go,
up.
man. Big game
Give
this
me a
week.
second.
Sorry, boys.
Um,
And sorry to the viewers if I'm coughing a lot. I'm sick as a dog, so excuse me.
all
Let's
right, so the boys are going to Canberra in the freezing cold, and I'm not keen because I'm going too, but I'm keen for the trip.
Oh, yeah.
So starting at fullback, we've got Clint Gutherson. On the wings, we've got Sione Finau and Tyrell Sloan both returning. Moses Sully and Corey Allen in the centers. liking King Tonga and the man himself, Cole Flanagan, in the halves. Um, Gula at 8. Damon Cook starting hooker as usual. David Clemmer starting. Raymond Fatala Mariner. We got him back. Jaden Sewer. Jack DeBellin. And off the bench, Jacob Little. Local returns and James Sele. And we get to see Michael Molo for the first time in first grade this year, and Coach Shane Flanagan.
What a bombshell, Michael Molo. I would have bet you $1 million he wouldn't be in this team. I can't believe I
I
forgot
hate it.
Dragons. I hate that move.
Like, look, respectfully to Michael Molo, like, sure, he's a lot better footballer than I'll ever be. Fantastic, good on you. But, like, Blake Laurie, when he's come in this year, he's done a job. He's been all right.
I
Yeah.
can't believe
Julian Fafita, like, I know he's carrying a bit of a knock and everything, so hopefully he might still come in if he's all right. But he was great last week. Thought he was fantastic. You also got Jacob Halangahu, who's going to be an absolute machine. Give him a crack, like while you can. Just give him a taste of first grade.
I'll touch on that Helen Gahu thing. This isn't a week I'd debut him. If I'm Flanagan, I'm not chucking a young 19-year-old in against one of the best forward packs in the comp, because if he has
It's
a
true.
shot,
Why not?
if
You got
he
to
has
play
a
NRL.
shot, people are gonna go, "Oh, Halangahu's not the real deal. Halangahu's shit. This guy's not going to be a good player. He's just good in the juniors up against kids his own size. He'll just absolutely cop it."
I mean,
I don't think so. Like, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, if you're going to play NRL, you've got to play the best. Like, you've got to do what if he plays next year, and then we go, say, like Penrith, they might win 5 in a row this year. We go play Penrith next year, and they go, oh no, we won't play this kid because we've got to shelter him. It's like, I understand it to a point, but it's also like, all right, like this kid with all these raps, you reckon you're going to be a gun? Let's see it. Because you can
You're
put him
gonna
off the
end up-
bench and give him 20 minutes, like if that's your game plan. Like,
I don't
what's
think.
Michael Molo offer that
Yeah.
Halangahu doesn't? Respectfully.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm actually these words are coming out of my mouth, but I can't believe Blake Laurie's not in the side. I genuinely cannot believe Blake Laurie's actually been very, very solid for us this year.
I just want to put it there.
surprisingly very solid.
I don't think Laurie will be at the Dragons next year. I just have this feel. I don't think
Who's
he'll.
going to take him? I think he's already. I think at the end of 2026 he's off contract.
I don't think
I reckon
he'll-
that might be why he's actually played so good when he's been in there, because he knows he's playing for a contract, and to try and show other coaches that
with
maybe
all
like
players.
that he is
As
good
soon as
enough.
they got a contract, they play crap. But that's
Corey Norman was the best for it. Corey Norman
Yeah.
would do nothing until he was on contract and light it up. Played Origin, bro.
Yeah, that's insane.
But
Oh,
James Sele, I really back him. I know people say a lot about
He's
him.
another bloke who might get injured in the warm up though.
Mm.
yeah,
been
literally.
going.
Didn't he run out and tear something? Tear
He-
something?
Yeah, for Cup, yeah. He was
I'm
coming
pretty
back
sure-
from a groin and tore his calf or something like that. Maybe the other way
One
around,
thing-
but yeah.
One thing
That's
I can
insane.
see why Shane Flanagan isn't playing William Fafita is because his fitness is not up to scratch, is what I've been told.
Mm.
In reserve grade, he's been struggling playing averaging 30 minutes each game in Resi. When you come up to first grade, sure he played well, but how many minutes did he play against Para?
19.
Yeah, which I suppose that's a fair point to counter it, I suppose, and just to play devil's advocate, it's the only way to get fitter playing footy is to play footy.
Yeah.
But I also get that if you for example, we have another week where we get all these injuries and he's got to play 50, 60 minutes, he's going to be a liability. So I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, but I think
Ray Tyler Mariner. No other options? No.
Well, actually,
Pretty much we don't actually have any other options.
well, actually, Sagranus is a second rower. His preferred position and his first position was a
Yeah.
second rower.
That's true. He has played center all year, but I understand. Yeah, that's a good call.
I would start Sagranus. I'm being through. Even if you have Sagranus on the bench and have we don't have that great a second rower on the
See,
bench.
I can't believe they didn't pick Sagranus in the centers. I understand, the back line looks okay, but for
Yeah.
example, someone like Tyrell Sloan, they're picking him and then dropping him, picking him and dropping him.
Yeah.
He's a confidence guy. He needs someone to believe in him and get the best footy out of him. Picking him up to play first grade and then dropping him, it's just going to do nothing but shatter the poor kid's confidence, and he's going to have no consistency with his footy.
And
Put Corey Allen back on the wing. He's played good there. Give Sagranus, let him dip his toes in, play 3 or 4 first grade games, because we might need him next year. You never know. Sully could be gone. If, for example, Val Holmes like God forbid, tears his ACL or his Achilles or
Oh,
something,
Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
like
Shit.
we'd be screwed. But you need these kids to have a bit more experience. Let him dip his toes in against like the Raiders, who have a couple of Origin players out. Like you know,
Bro,
It's
Well,
a
I
game,
don't know.
it's a game we
our,
can win.
our reserves are legitimately better than our bench. Laurie, Fafita, Sagranis, Ilias, and Halangahu. That's
Oh wow.
legitimately better than half our forwards that we have
yeah.
in our starting 17.
I
So
just want to put this out there right now. Instead of Michael Molo, I would have preferred to play like a Ben Murdoch Masilla to come on and just give 25 minutes of just
Yeah,
sharpness. Because he
get
is
Unk
still
back out there.
he's get the
oh,
unk back out there. Get the
Yeah.
get
Get him
actually,
Uncle Merv,
on.
get
actually,
Uncle Merv out there for 25 minutes of just hard slug. Because what does Michael Molo offer? He's got a neck tattoo,
And
but
the
he's
boys proper
soft.
love him as well.
Yeah.
Soft.
but Benny, I actually back Benny so much. I back Murdoch Masilla. I actually do.
Yeah.
He's like, he's a gun, but
Murdoch Masila was one of the best bench players last year. He was like unbelievable.
that's a stretch. But like, I
He
see where
was
you're
good
coming from.
last year, but he's also. I think he's also retiring at the end of the year. So I think he's
Yeah,
just
Yeah,
probably.
but give him a couple send-off games. All
yeah.
right, low key, call me crazy.
Oh, no.
I reckon we might get Raid. We might beat the Raiders this
I
weekend.
tell you what,
Yeah, I'm
That's what
not
I've been
calling you crazy.
saying,
I'm
bro.
just
That's what I've been
delusional.
guys,
saying.
everyone
Wait,
calm down. This is
Like,
where we segue into our
yes,
tips.
like
I've said it all week.
yes.
I'll wait for the tip segment, but I've said it all
I
week.
tell you what, we'll segue into the tips now. So, Julian,
happen.
we need a score line and a try score from both teams. Would you like to go first?
Oh, jeez. All right.
I can just start rambling about this game if you want because I'm gonna
Yeah.
list reasons why we're gonna win.
Tyson, you go
Hold on,
first.
wait, Elijah. What'd you say you wanted? A try score from each team.
Yes,
Mm.
and a score line.
The
Let me see.
score.
Canberra. I haven't seen their team yet.
All right, Tyson,
So
waffle away.
the Raiders, yes, their full pack still looks great, but no Hudson Young. Simi Sasangi's played good footy, whatever. No Papali'i. That's the big one, I reckon. Even just as that spiritual leader in the dressing room, he's been there forever. He's their dad, and he's not there. Then they go onto the bench, quite inexperienced Noel Martin, Trey Mooney, Adam Mariota, whatever. Who are they? But the Raiders have won 6 in a row.
It's you.
The Dragons recently have sucked. The Raiders are going to go in against the Dragons and go, this is an absolute cakewalk. Like, we don't even have to try. Like, what's going on? We're going
Especially
to
the
get
players
there.
that
We're
we're
going to play
missing.
fast for this. Like, we're going to play a first half like last week, go out there, ambush them from the start, and then just hang on for dear life.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
Origin
Such
round.
a
Weird things
Dragons
happen
thing
in
to
these,
win.
like,
And
I
I
back
wanted
that.
to add last few games, Raiders, they've barely held on against, the likes of
yes, they've
Knights
only
and
beat the Knights and the Tigers by 4 points. The Knights and
like
the Tigers
that's
suck.
unbelievable.
Worse than us.
Well,
So
if we're
Tyson,
touching on Canberra's bench, right? You've got a bloke like Trey Mooney. If I'm like can remember, this is his first NRL game for the year. I actually don't think I've seen Trey Mooney play once this year.
I think yeah,
You've got a bloke in
He's played
Noah
2 games.
Martin. 2 games, has he? 2 games. You've got a bloke in Noah Martin. I think this is his
And
third
lost both
game.
of them. There you go. There's a stat. Sorry.
There we
I'll stop
go.
cutting you off now.
Honestly, when we bring on our bench in Loco and Hum and like Sele and Little, we could genuinely have potential to just steamroll their middles. And that's where it would just open up. And I reckon we could actually call me crazy. I reckon we get Canberra.
All right,
And then
Tyson, would you like to start off with a score and just a couple of try scores from the game?
I can do that for you. We're not going to score many points, but either are they. It's going to be 16-14 after we're 16-0 up after 6 minutes.
That's not bad. That's a fighting win.
Can we not have another
Yeah.
close game, please?
That's like
No,
the Storm game.
that's this Dragons team. That's how we win. We're shit. We're going to get him into a dogfight and just be like, come with us. Try scorers.
Yeah.
Tyrell Sloan's going to score 2 of our 3 tries for the whole game.
Yeah.
And, Corey Horsburgh, that bloke scars me after that try scored last year. He'll probably score against us again.
Stop it. Oh, stop it. The
Put
grubber.
that multi be
Grubber.
paying
Oh,
some coin.
not the grubber. Oh, no.
So I got Julian score and a couple of try scores from both teams.
All right. You know how delusional I am about the Saints. I'm not going to go 13 plus. Obviously, this will be a tight one, like Tyson said. I'm going to go Dragons 24-20. So it's still going to be a
Yeah.
tough, gritty win.
Yeah.
But any times, or I'm gonna go for. I'll start with Raiders. I'll go with Savage. Oh, he's a gun. I would have said Tamale, but he's long gone for the rest of
No,
the
he's a
year.
stat for us.
For
Savage loves to
Dragons, I'm
try at
gonna go.
GIO as well, by the way. So if you love, if
What's up?
Savage loves to try at GIO, I saw something today. He scored in like the past 7 games.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll probably
He
put
also
some
hates
bets
tackling.
on
Canberra's right edge hate defending. So whoever's that left winger for the Dragons will guaranteed meaty.
for now. No, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna go for now
Yeah, I
for
don't
any
know who it's gonna
for
be.
us because he scored that sick try against Roosters, even though we got flogged on Anzac Day. Yeah, I'm gonna go for now.
Jackson.
I'm gonna go the Dragons 20-10. He scored his first try against them last year. I reckon he'll score this week again. I'm gonna go King Togia to score.
Mm.
And from Canberra, I'm gonna back Zach Hosking.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Especially if he's on for Tyler Mariner. I can just see Mariner just an absolute jersey grab and he'll just slide straight, just crash over.
Mitchie.
Well, you know what they say: tip with your head, not with your heart. But we're lucky this ain't sports bet. I'm taking Dragons 13 plus, 24-10. All right, and I'm going to back off Jackson's comment saying our bench looks like I reckon we can steamroll them. I want to take Cookie to burrow through, sneak through for a meaty, and let me just double check this Raiders team list. I had someone. I'm thinking a bit of a wild one, but I'm going to go for a Seb Chris double. I feel like when he scores, he plays good. Like he's just very off and on sometimes. But yeah, Seb Chris double, 24-10, and Cookie burrows over.
Now, boys, I'm not.
Also, people who are listening, who might not be Dragons fans, we know deep down we're probably gonna get fucking pumped.
Yeah, who knows? It could be like that Dolphins game.
You're gonna gaslight
Could be like
yourself.
that
You're gonna gaslight yourself.
Yeah. It's like I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 60-4.
Yeah, look, if we come out and like they score like 20 points in like the first 15 minutes, would I be surprised?
Oh,
No.
and
Would
will I be
surprised
turning off? Probably.
Yeah. No. Will I be surprised if Jamal Fogarty comes out and just tears us to
Kicks us
shreds?
to death.
No.
Mm.
I tell you
Even
what,
Stranger also run circles around us because he has been running circles around every team this year. But Dragons to win 20-10.
I might. This
Well
is
said.
where I'm genuinely not clip farming when I do this. I'm being so genuine. I'm tipping Dragons 21 points to 20. I'm tipping a Carl Flanagan field goal for the win.
You
This
need
is
help.
getting clipped up either
You
when
need
the
a-
Dragons get thumped or when the Dragons like win. But I'm telling you right now, I can envision it. How poetic is it from a solid game last week to come back with a field goal to silence JC again in person?
Listen. If
True.
Cole Flanagan kicks a winning field goal,
He'll beat you. He'll
I don't
bleach
even
you.
know. Clip this,
Bleach your
put
hair.
it on TikTok. I'll do whatever
Bleach
the
your
top comment is. I'll do whatever
Bleach
the
your
top
hair.
comment is. I'll bleach it. It's already been bleached, man. I'll buzz it. I'll go blue.
Oh, Mitch,
Purple.
bleach it red. Bleach it red.
Go red. Go red.
Yeah, red and white.
Mitch.
Get a red V in your hair.
Mitch, half red,
Get a red
half
arrow.
white.
Oh my god,
No.
I'll lose my job.
But
I'm gonna lose my job.
but I'm being so serious when I say I actually can see it happening. It'd be like a close game, the entire game, and we don't have homes. If we get in position, the ball's going to go to Carl. And
I'm
Carl,
gonna be honest.
That's actually concerning. Who's it? Oh,
Either
no.
that or
I
he
gotta
flukes
go to
it.
Carl
I don't
Flanagan.
think
It's either
would.
that
I
way
tell you
or he
what,
flukes it.
Gutherson has kicked the field goal in the past, so if he gets in that position, but
I don't trust his knees, bro.
Yeah,
His knees
don't-
will click.
don't fall off.
Both uprights that goes in.
Well, I'm just putting it out there. I think Kyle would be like the only person to kick a field goal under the posts. I don't see that bloke being able to kick it through a post.
Yeah.
He is.
I mean, Ben Hunt when it was with the
He
Dragons.
could kick a ball off a tee pretty good. It's just
Bro,
everything else. It's
I'd
needs a
have
bit
more faith
power.
in Emre Gula to slot a field goal against his old side than I would Kyle Flanagan.
I was actually, if we go back to our tips a little bit, I reckon man of the match after a good performance last week, Emre Gula against his former
old
club.
side. Yeah,
Oh,
like
that's not a bad shout, eh?
Gula will have a. I reckon Gula.
And looking at our forward pack, like even though yes they've got Papali'i out, like they've still got Corey Horsburgh, who's probably an Origin level forward, and Tarpanay, who's in my opinion top 3 or to 5 front rower in the comp. Like they're still going to like turn up, and Emre Gula's going to have to lead our pack.
Yeah,
In
I
terms
agree.
of-
I reckon Gula will be the dog of our pack against
In
Raiders.
terms
I
of my
really-
try scorers, I'm going to go Jamal Fogarty to score. I think he's just going to do a dummy and run and go straight through the Dragons soft defense. I can see it. For the Dragons, I'm going to say I'm going to say Sully gets his first one against Canberra.
Hmm.
I'm going to say Sully because he's on the right side. Who's the left center for Canberra?
I think it's Timoko.
Seb Chris.
Seb Chris. or
Seb
Timoko.
Chris.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see that happening. But
Here's another reason the Dragons will win this week. So we play them this week in Canberra, right?
This looks so bad.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I believe now we play them again in 4 weeks' time at Wollongong.
Oh.
Watch that be the game we lose by 50.
Yeah.
We'll beat them this week, and then in 4 weeks' time, when everyone's healthy, not everyone, we don't have a forward pack. When our Origin guys are back and everything, we lose by 50.
At home too. Oh, that's gonna suck.
It's written.
Also, just quite like the Raiders draw, like because they've got us 2 games, like 2 times in 4 weeks. They also play the Raiders, sorry, the Knights again before us. Like they played the Knights last week, then play us this week. Then round 21, they've got the Knights. Round 22, they've got the Dragons. Like,
Weird.
why is the draw so shit?
Yeah,
No,
I don't
it
get
is.
it.
I remember the first few rounds. Was it Eels and Tigers played each other twice in the opening like 6 rounds?
Mm.
Yeah,
And
it's
the
like, what's
Roosters
the
did
point?
as well.
Yeah, well, they've done it to
Raiders. Don't they
Like,
have
they-
like 3 more buys? Don't
Two.
that some
Yeah,
two
Raiders have 2 more buys left.
That's wow.
Wait, I'm not
They're
complaining
gonna
about
finish first.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not complaining about this one bit, right? We played Penrith once this year, and it's the final
It's
round.
round
Oh.
27 though.
Who
Yeah,
does
I was
more?
gonna say from at the
That could
start
be
of
the
season,
push.
you would have looked at that game and be like, Penrith will rest all their players because they'll probably be
Yeah, and now they're going to be trying to get a top 4 spot.
now they're gonna
Yeah.
be either fighting for the top 4 or even the top 8.
Even that could be the
I mean,
top 8 battle.
Oh, no, top 8. They've got top 8 locked down. Go look at their draw and how they're playing. Like, they're pushing for top 4. They're going to win the comp again. It's
Fucking
ridiculous.
Can these
I know.
Panthers, can this club relax, please?
I'm
Give
saying,
another
wait,
team a chance.
I'm saying it now.
So
I'm saying it
greedy.
now. Do not be surprised if Penrith win the comp. Do not be
Oh,
surprised.
Yeah,
I've been
literally.
saying this, bro. I've been saying this. Anyway, go on.
Honestly,
I'm sick
if
of it.
we're not winning the comp, let them win it. Like, let them just make history. If we're not going to win the comp, I don't really care. who's
I
wins
don't
it.
hate Penrith as much as people do because I feel
The
like
way I'm thinking about it, anyone but the Dogs, please.
Oh,
Anybody
bro.
but the bloody Bulldog. I cannot deal
Especially
with
with our rivalry against the Doggies and
Oh.
stuff. Like, imagine them
Scrap
having to go
that.
to Vegas and we're like playing against
Scrap
the
Scrap.
like,
I forgot to say
Premiership
this.
Dogs, bro.
In a few weeks, we might get pumped by the Dogs. Round 1 next year, we're beating them in Vegas. I'm so confident.
Oh, we
actually
better. I've
getting
spent all my
excited.
money to go there. So if
We won't
beat
because
them
look,
in
we
Vegas,
don't turn up for big games. Like Anzac days, we just get flogged. Like we're gonna
Yeah,
get
what's
pumped
going
over
on,
there
eh?
too.
Like,
Bro, I'm telling you, the halves battle, King Togan, Atkinson versus Galvin and Burden actually will probably be.
You never know. Might be funner. You never know.
I'm telling you right now, it will be
No, it
fun.
will be.
It will be.
quiet.
Like,
You-
it's not even a question.
You don't think that Shane Flanagan is going to pick his son at halfback in America? You're kidding.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I
that's-
have Flanagan, like, can you imagine
You
your
want to have a father-son vacation, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've had a weird thought about where Kyle Flanagan could go next year. Buff him up, Kyle Flanagan at lock. Hear me out.
No, or yeah.
Well, he's got the ball work. He's got that simple pass, and he is probably
a simple export that.
he is
Export
I reckon
God.
he's one of the best. I
Export
reckon he's one of the- he's one of the best defensive halves in the comp. Like honestly, that's because he's a
Yeah,
hooker.
that is true.
That's because he's a hooker. I reckon put him at lock and he'd do all right.
I'd say to
Well-
counteract that, we do have Hamish Stewart, who's like 6'4", massive, and can ball play.
If we didn't,
Literally like the Isaiah Yeo prototype. Kyle Flanagan, he'll play like once Cook retires, he'll
He'll
go
play-
to 14.
I was about to
hopefully,
say,
Little start 9, and then because
I was about to say,
he
I
was
feel like
allegedly brought in to play 9, but
we could go without Cook for this season because realistically, because we lost Ben Hahn and because King Togi and we could put Elias or Glover in the halves, bro, that would be a really good move to put Flanagan to 14 and Little starting if we didn't sign Cook. But Cook signing
like Flanagan's
diminished.
actually a really good 9.
Nah, he is. He
Like,
actually.
you watch him play
now.
9, you're like, okay, like.
Yeah.
And I feel like he fits into that mold of like those halves that like are okay at halfback, but then like you simplify their role, don't have to think as much, don't have to do all the organising, and they just go really good. Like Phoenix Crossan when he plays 9, for example.
If you think about, I reckon he could be like a mad 14. Comes on, he could play lock if Hamish goes down. Done. He could come in, Hurts. He could play in the halves if one of our halves go down.
Yeah.
He could play hooker.
One
He is
player-
like a
One player
versatile.
who's one player who was similar to that at the Dragons, Kurt Mann was a winger, a centre, and he played in the halves a little bit when Gareth Widdle went down.
Except he was just shit though with us.
Yeah, but this
He
is where
sucked.
he comes in. When he went to Newcastle, it was all right. When he went to Dogs, he put on a little bit of size, went to 13.
Yeah.
And now, is he 13 or is he on the bench? I can't remember. But either way,
He plays 14, but then he plays in the middle, but can also play everywhere.
he's been really good, at 13. So, I mean, it could work out for Flanagan but who, I don't know.
I'm just saying this, right? If we've signed Daniel Atkinson as our marquee signing for next year, and he does not play in round 1, I swear to God, if it's
he'll play round 1. It'll be Lycan that misses out.
If it's Lycan, joke. If Flanagan is in that side in the halves, I feel bad for
you better put your money.
I honestly I'll put money on it. That's what will happen.
Flanagan is not losing his spot no matter what.
Yeah.
As long as, but boys, actually, I want to ask you this question: do you think Shane Flanagan's role as a head coach is under a little bit of pressure?
No,
not for a second.
This is the 1 year we've debuted that many kids. The kids love Shane, right? And they're all re-signing because Shane is there and they're actually getting a crack, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like Shane,
they have a pathway to first grade now.
Yeah, I agree. Everyone's going Shane's under scrutiny. Who are we going to bring in? There's no coaches there that are
exactly. I'm 100%. And it's like, what do the Dragons gain by sacking him? We just go straight back to zero. Like we've started to put some footings in place for a rebuild to be good in 3 or 4 years' time. That's what we're building towards. We're not trying to win a comp this year or next year. What do we do? Like, what do we gain out of getting a new coach in? Nothing.
They say that for us, our solution from the journos and everyone, our solution, sack the coach. Sack the coach. Coach isn't doing his job. With Shane, we've gone 20 steps forward. We sack Shane, we go about 50 steps back.
Yeah.
And also, on top of that, these are all the same journos who are tipping us for the spoon.
Yeah.
Oh.
They go, our expectations, everyone was saying bottom 4. Because we started okay and we were in the top 8 for a couple of rounds there and we had all these close losses. They go, oh, geez, Dragons might be a top 8 side. We were never going to be a top 8 side. That was we're always going to finish. We're exactly where we're meant to be honest, looking at the table. It's everyone's tipping us for the spoon or thereabouts. And it's like,
I want to put this in
then
perspective.
why are we sacking the coach?
Or we're not going to win a game for the rest of the year. Like someone said, enjoy your win against Eels. That'll be your last.
I mean, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Can't lie.
You're not wrong.
Julian, if that happened, would I be surprised? Sadly, no.
But the thing is, to put in perspective for some people, we were one horrid defensive, thinking about the power game, a horrible defensive game. Canberra, we blew an 18-point lead. If we literally make a few we got pumped by power for 75 minutes of that game. But those 2 games we would have won, we would have been in the 8. So it's
that Canberra game, we were up. We were up there.
18. I mean, that was
I would also much rather be in our position as the Dragons right now than the Titans.
Yeah.
And I suppose the Rabbitohs had that many injuries, it's ridiculous. But I'd rather be us than the Titans, us than the Tigers, us than the Knights. We're in a lot better position than those clubs.
Speaking of which,
100%.
which team right now do you reckon is in the most shambles? And mine's Newcastle.
Titans.
Mine's Newcastle.
Titans.
How much is Dylan Brown getting again? 14.
Oh, that's insane, man. That's a joke.
That scraps a lot of their salary cap for the next few years.
See,
Ponga's going to end up leaving.
That's one of those supply versus demand things. At the time, there was no one on the market available. He can ask whatever he wants. Kalen Ponga, he probably won't be there next year.
He's going to go Roosters. Kalen Ponga is it's the most I've seen in ages.
The whispers that I've heard is European rugby.
What the fuck? That's
insane. That's what all the talk is in Newcastle at the moment. Yeah.
I mean, it was a union player, so
yeah.
That's
and
true.
Ridiculous money getting offered to him. He'd be stupid not to take it.
Yeah.
Who do you reckon? I know.
Look at Galvin. He turned down $5 million.
Yeah, that's because he wants to actually win.
Yeah.
Who do we think Perth sign? Who's going to be Perth's big guy? Who's going to go live in Perth?
Appy Coruscant.
Well, I tell
and
you
it's going to
what.
stuff the Tigers over even more because Talon De Silva's left.
Up to 2028.
Yeah, he just re-signed today till 2028.
Did he?
What?
Okay.
Really?
But again, this is the thing. Contracts don't mean shit. But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I think
I'll bite my tongue there.
I'm going to say something. I think Mitchell Woods is going to be the future face of the Perth Bears in a few years. I think Mitch Woods
Nah, he's got that locked.
Good.
He's got that 7 spot at the doggies locked down.
I'll
You
tell you
reckon?
now.
I see him staying at Dogs, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's not leaving the Dogs. My
He's
main
gotta be
side
at home.
for the Bears, I've thought about this hard. It'll be Tino. Tino will be the Perth's big
I like
guy.
that.
He'll be
Yeah.
the captain.
Don't
He's
hate
close
it.
now.
Him and
he's
Mal have a good
close now.
relationship.
Yeah, he'll be the first one to get called up, and he'll be the captain of Perth, and they'll build the team around Tino. He's still what,
And Titans will
26?
be
Yeah.
even more shambles.
Yeah. Because
Oh,
you got those
then,
get out
man,
clauses
that's-
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So will Cobbo probably go over there.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, it's written in the stars, isn't it? He signed a 1-year deal, for God's sakes. He's definitely going
Yeah.
to Perth 27. Yeah, that's destined to happen.
Boys, I
It'll
want
be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how Perth build, because we've seen Dolphins build and they're
Yeah.
incredible now.
See,
Like,
I love
but
it.
that's
I
what
love
like Dolphins recruitment wise, they had a really tough time getting anyone in, and that's for a team that's in Brisbane. It's like, how's a team in Perth going to go getting people over there?
yeah, it's
Yeah,
all
I don't
right.
know.
It's
breed.
gonna be
I'll
pretty
tell you
tough.
how. I'll tell you how.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Mm.
true.
That's exactly right.
They're gonna have to get some players from that club, the Perth, that club I'm talking about.
Julian's favorite spot.
The membership dramas there, that's insane.
I think this is lost on the other boys.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know it. The Perth. Oh, yeah, okay, I know.
There's a gay club in Perth called
Yeah.
the Bears of Perth.
The Bears of Perth.
And people actually bought memberships because they thought it was the Perth Bears.
All right, touching on the Bears. Do we lose Junior? Do we lose kids to Perth?
I think we
Like,
do. I don't know who, but we're destined to lose a few to Bears.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's bound to happen. Like I think look at there's probably a few fringy guys like a Jonah Glover in the future, for example. Those kind of guys probably take off over there. Like
Buchanan, Hayden Buchanan. He could
no,
be
I hope
one.
not.
I don't think it will leave. I don't think it will leave Dragons.
Do you reckon this is a pretty hot take? Do you reckon if I don't know about Ramsey, if he doesn't crack first grade in the next
That was
three,
the thought I just had, but I was like, all right, at the same time, in the same breath, he'll stick with us, surely. Like Dragons are
yeah,
stuck
because
by
we stuck with
through
him too.
all
We
his
kept him.
stars,
Cody
like,
Ramsey.
Yeah.
Cody
kept him on
Ramsey's
an
another
NRL
player.
contract.
He's
Like,
another player who loves the Dragons.
Yeah.
I'm also putting this out there. I'm very confident. The two
Fine.
Captain brothers, Dylan Egan, Hamish Stewart, King Togia, Halangahu, and Sagranis will stay at the Dragons for a very long time.
100%.
yeah,
Yeah.
I reckon they will play 100 games at the Dragons.
And
Yeah.
then you've got
Fingers
guys
crossed
like,
is all I'm saying,
guys like Loco. I think Loco pounces at the first big offer he gets.
Yeah.
Like,
Reckon?
I reckon he pounces. The first big offer he gets, he's gone.
Boys,
Fuck.
quickly before we head off, I want to get your Origin predictions.
Ooh. Okay.
Now,
This sounds crazy. The Queensland team has literally, on paper, been worse every single game this series, and that
That
scares
scares
me
me even
more and
more.
more.
yeah, that scares me more and more.
Like the
Shibasaki-
Queensland side looks shit, and I'm like, Shibasaki is going to have a game. He's going to tackle everything that comes
he
near him
is.
and
I
probably
tell you
score two
what.
tries.
Me, I would have gone for like either Walsh or Talangi and put like Combs in the centers, but you know,
But Billy Slater, man, being in Sydney and the Blues having the team, like I suppose literally, if you take 40 minutes out of the Origin series, like we should be whitewashing him this weekend. Well, sorry, this weekend, next week. We'll win. We'll win.
Wait, I love how Pap's in a fucking Raiders jersey.
Yeah, Gibbs in his Bronx jersey as well.
Oh, what the hell? Oh, yeah. Jamie Hopgood
All
in
right.
his jersey. Josh Kerr, what the hell?
Yeah, what? Wait, Elijah, do you want the same as normal tips, like a try score on that?
yeah, give us a try
Yeah.
score and the
All
score.
right.
Wait, let me
There we
get
go. New South Wales, 26-12.
Yeah,
I think it's really tight to the last 20. We run away with it. Blues try scorer, because he's been talk of the podcast for a little while there. Zach Lomax will unfortunately cross. And then the GOAT, Shibasaki, he'll score.
Jackson.
All
Me.
right. Who's
Me.
going?
Is that me or Julian?
We'll do Jackson and then we'll do Julian.
Yes.
Right, Blues 32-10. I reckon they just
Jesus.
steamroll, to be honest. I just reckon they bounce back from last time. Try scorers. I'll go Tino
Yeah,
and Latrell.
Tano, Latrell, Julian. Give a
All
shot.
right, I'm gonna go New South Wales
Yeah.
16-14. They're gonna bash each
Whoa.
other. They're gonna bash each other up.
Mm.
Any time for New South Wales. Yeah, well, I'm gonna give it to Luai, and then I don't know. There's gonna be. I want a few fights. I want a few
There'll be a
fights
fight.
with
I'm
Luai.
very confident there'll be 210 in the bins because of a fight.
Oh,
I
Yeah,
that'd
reckon
be
and then
it'll be two bins.
for Queensland, I actually put a bet on for Munster to score last game. I don't usually do that, and he did because that was a big game for him. But I'm gonna go big, big Tino in. Big Tino's going in.
Mitch.
That's it for me.
Do you have your?
I have been whole time been listening to your picks, been scrolling through this team list. I'm going to say Blues 26-22. Bit of a out of their score line, but see what happens. Try scorers, one for each team. I've got Toya for Queensland.
Yeah.
But I just think, he had a lot of people doubting him. He's actually been solid, like we can all agree.
Yeah.
And even though I'm a Dragons fan and he plays for our rivals, you can't hate the bloke. I've got Max King crashing over.
Oh, yes. Love
Fair
that.
enough. I love that.
Big
I
front
love
row
that.
meat pie inbound.
Now you boys know I love my field goals. I'm not gonna say either team wins by one. A very odd score. I'm gonna say New South Wales 19 to the Maroons 12. A very ugly game. I think to seal the game, Cleary's going to slot one over. And I think for Queensland, I'm going to say Val Holmes across. And for New South Wales, I'm going to say Connor Watson off the bench.
Okay.
Impact.
I like it.
I reckon.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all.
Because Connor Watson has been very, very solid. Me being the biased Dragons fan, before the series, I was like, we need Jacob Little in there. Because Jacob Little's an Origin-made player. I don't care what you boys say. He has to make Origin next year. He's a gun.
He
But
is a.
Connor Watson's been doing the job, and you can't hate that at all.
No.
Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up.
Elijah.
We've got a minute.
Elijah.
Yeah.
I was just sitting on Instagram here. We haven't won at GIO in the past 10 years.
Oh shit!
Exactly. That's another reason why we're going to win.
No time like the present, eh?
G up, boys.
Exactly.
G up. G up. We're winning. We'll come back to this. Clip this. We're winning in Canberra. Simple as that.
Whatever I've just
Clip it
said,
up.
we've not won in the past 10 years in Canberra. Dragons 20-10. Enjoy your weekend of football.
And thank you guys for watching this episode of the Saints podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, comment down below. Who do you want to see on the podcast next? We have some very big guests for the next few games. And see you boys. Up the Saints.